Wow. Oh, look at Michael Mack smile. That's worth the show, folks. Thank you for joining AHA, a human among humans. I'm learning, Michael, slowly.
What are you learning?
Well,
Usually we do our lessons at the end, what we have learned today, but we're starting it at the beginning now. What have you learned?
It was a tough week.
Oh, tell me more.
Two friends have been very angry at me.
Oh, did you do something?
Yes.
What did you do?
I'll have to disguise who they are.
Okay. Do they know each other, or are they a couple?
No, they don't know. No, they don't know.
So two completely different people.
Yes, my psyche, since I'm slow to learn, makes it hard to ignore things. So if it was just one person,
it's hard to ignore.
If there was just one person angry,
you could easily forget it, or
yeah, I could put it. Yes, but
deny it.
Two people furious with me.
Furious.
Yes, furious.
What, pray tell, did you do?
Well, one friend, Charlie.
Charlie from Bulgaria?
Yes.
Okay.
How'd you know? So it's his birthday, and I'm driving him to pick up. He's a filmmaker, and he has to get some films from someone.
Yeah.
And I might have told you this, and my battery conks out while he comes back with the film.
So are you doing this as a favor to Charlie
Yes,
from Bulgaria?
yes,
A favor for Charlie
yes.
For his birthday?
Yes.
Okay. So far, so good.
And then, since the battery conked out, it had conked out twice during the week.
The battery of your car?
My car.
Yeah.
And I could have, I tend to put that off, taken it to the service station to see if there was something wrong with the batteries.
Yeah.
They jump-started it twice.
Oh.
I did not.
So twice they jump-started it.
And I told Charlie's recovering from an illness, that, listen, I just got a lift. I'll call a Lyft and send you home.
Call Lyft, as in L-Y-F-T, like
yes,
Uber?
Yes.
Okay.
And Charlie had been willing to wait for AAA to come. And when he got into the lift, he was very angry at me, and that started it off.
So I'm missing something here. So you're doing a favor for Charlie on for his birthday.
Yes.
Giving him a
Lift,
ride.
A ride.
Now your ride conked out, and you offered to pay.
Yes.
For the equivalent of a taxi.
Yes.
The Lyft equivalent of a taxi.
Yes.
To get Charlie home.
And
right?
Yep. And then I called Charlie 2 hours later when after I got my car to the service station.
Yeah.
Left it there.
Yeah.
But that was the beginning of, Charlie gets very angry at people.
Now, how did you personally fail?
Charlie felt unsafe because my car conked out. And
now,
and Charlie did not like it that, and this is what I do sometimes, I didn't check with him to see if it's okay to call a Lyft. It was his birthday, and just sent him home.
And I mean, what would the option have been?
I
told Charlie just to walk home?
Or we could have sat and waited.
Walk back to Bulgaria?
Or sat, I was afraid.
Okay.
We could have sat and waited. I thought it was being good, but that's that part of me that wants to take care of people and not check in and see if they want the kind of care I'm offering them.
Yeah.
And then Charlie...
Now were you taking charge?
Yes, in some ways.
Because some people, if they're not included in the conversation, can feel like disempowered.
Yes, yes. And I'm sorry, I have learned, I've done that in the past. I hope maybe not to do it again, to keep the conversation going. And then it got worse.
With Charlie?
Yep, Charlie got angry at me, and I said, that's okay, you can get angry. I enjoy your anger.
You said that?
Yes.
You said those words?
Yeah, this is emails now.
Did you have any other gasoline that you could throw on the fire?
Charlie said that's sadistic. And I had been learning from my take on nonviolent communication that I'm totally responsible, I don't believe this anymore, for how I feel.
Okay.
So whatever people call me, it's my choice to take it in or not. I can just say that's their problem.
Okay, so let me just circle around that for a moment. So are you saying that this teaching nonviolent communication says that each of us is 100% responsible for how we feel?
That's one of the things Marshall Rosenberg says in this book.
Okay. May I make a little comment?
Yes.
I think that the more responsibility we can take, the better off and more empowered that we are.
Yes.
But I'm not convinced that we are 100%,
No.
100% responsible.
And one of Marshall's followers said, maybe that's true, but sometimes people give you an invitation to feel something that's very hard to refuse.
Yeah, I mean, if you're mugged, for example,
Yes.
beaten,
Yes.
I would say that it would be not unseemly to blame the other person for some of how you think and feel.
And I was doing it not well. In nonviolent communication,
Now, question.
Yep.
Were you, when you said, I enjoy it when you,
When you get angry.
when you get angry,
Yep.
when you said that, were you being provocative?
I wasn't aware of that. I was so happy that, wow, I didn't let his words get to me. I felt so strong.
Well, you know, it's a different situation because, Charlie's a guy, but I'm reminded of these old tropes in movies from like the 40s and 50s where the woman gets angry and the man says, "You're beautiful when you're angry," or something like that.
It was something like that, yes.
So a little bit condescending.
I'm not meant to, well, probably not conscious of that, but I think hugely.
Yeah.
And then fortunately, when I go to bed, I feel like annihilating the sun when I get up in the morning.
Okay. I don't know what that means or what that has to do with Charlie from
I got
Bulgaria.
the anger that I didn't feel or the pain that I didn't think was getting to me.
And were you angry? What were you angry at?
I mean, Charlie was very angry. He said, that's sadistic.
So were you angry at Charlie?
Let me just think now. I wanted to just destroy life. I get very, very angry when
Like all of life?
Yes,
like the entire universe?
just the solar system. Just let there not be light, because I was
Just fire and fury.
Yeah, let this destroy
over the solar system.
Yeah, so you're enjoying my anger. Good.
No, I'm not. I'm.
I knew I could cheer you up. This is the way to cheer up my friend.
I'm sure that you realize just how presumptuous you are.
Yes, you see,
I'm sure that you are.
I'm doing it again. I'm doing it again.
Yeah.
Is there hope for this man who's trying to be learning to be human?
All I want to do is help. If there's anything that I can do to be more helpful, please let me know.
So when Charlie told me he had a hole in his heart because he misses our loving connection.
What a beautiful thing to say.
And I say, oh, I'm glad that you have a hole in your heart. It means you miss me. I was just...
Was this all in sequential order, or was this sort of like a mashup of a lot of...
These are a few emails.
Okay.
Oh, my. And then, after wanting to blow up the sun...
So, because you were so furious with... So were you furious with Charlie? Were you furious with yourself? Were you... I mean... I don't understand why you wanted to blow up the sun or the solar system. I can understand if you wanted to blow up yourself or blow up
Yes.
Charlie.
Yes, well, I think big. I mean, if I would do it like...
I mean, was it along the line of like, I hate my life and I just, something like that, or what? I hate what I've done?
We could look into it, which we are now.
Yeah.
I displace my anger, to say the least. And instead of like a human being, because this show is called A Human Among Humans,
Yeah.
I try not to be at all angry at Charlie. I didn't realize how angry I was at me, and so I took it out on the sun. I guess I wanted their...
Have you ever done like pillow therapy? Have you ever like beat up a pillow?
I have done that, yes.
Okay.
So, and eventually
I hate you, pillow. I hate you.
And eventually I come to peace. There's a concept in Beware of Religious People. Maybe we're warming up. The next show is God Talk. It's Michael's show.
Beware of religious people. Why?
There's a concept called fana.
Fana?
Yeah.
Where does it come from?
It is either Hindu or Sufi or both.
Okay. F-A-N-A?
Yes, F-A-N-A.
Okay.
And
Fana.
it means annihilation.
All right.
And you annihilate your ego.
Uh-huh.
And eventually, and that's a step toward being more whole and not so ego-centered.
I think it's less about one annihilating one's own ego than it is allowing one's own ego to be annihilated. Because if you're annihilating your own ego, you're just building up your ego
Yeah, it
more.
could be,
But
yes.
that's another topic.
Yes, that's very important. But lying in bed under my covers in my beloved sleeping bag, I find peace by saying, oh my, I'm annihilating, I'm probably doing it not the way you just suggested not to. In some ways, or my ego is being annihilated, this is a good thing. And then I feel good. Without addressing any of the reasons why I'm feeling this.
Well, here we are, halfway through the show. We've run through this narrative, and you've shared some specific examples of interactions between you and Charlie of Bulgaria.
Yes.
And so, having reviewed these with me and with our audience, what can you say that you've learned? Or what might you do differently next time? Or
Oh, I did something else more wrong also. May I tell you?
oh, there's more?
Yes.
Same person or different
Same person. No, there's
Okay.
another person.
All right,
It's the-
confess.
So Charlie, who's recovering from surgery, says, I need your... That's why I sent him home. Because I didn't want him stuck in the car.
Sent him home in the lift,
In the lift. And he said...
which Charlie didn't not
Appreciate
take. I mean, he didn't.
Appreciate
Charlie
it.
didn't appreciate it, but he took the lift
He was
home.
very cold when he got in, yes. He could have stopped it then. And then he said, I might need your help when, and I can't count on you. Your battery didn't work. You didn't really take care of it. You didn't check with me when you sent me home. And he said, can you be there for me when I'm hurting? And I say, I'm not defending this. According to nonviolent communication, which I've been using as a guide until these events.
Yeah, at least until very recently.
Yes. We're supposed to check in and see if it's joyful.
Mm-hmm.
If it brings us joy to do something, but not to do things out of duty
Yeah.
or obligation. And I said that I'd like to check in and see if it brings me joy. I'm not making this up. And Charlie gets understandably furious. And it took me a while to think about this and share it with other people. I say, what do you do when people say, I want you to be there for me. I'm afraid, I'm giving myself away. And we finally come up with a mantra that I need mantras to guide me.
A template. You need an instruction manual.
Yes, I
basically.
do. I'm wandering lost.
I mean, me too.
And I say, when it's true, I'd love to help you. Let's discover how I can.
Beautiful.
And that finally got that. And these, well, one last thing.
And do you remember the wise person that you consulted with to come up with that beautiful?
A couple of friends.
Uh-huh.
I really called. Felt like I was going crazy.
Yeah, I remember that call.
Yes.
Do you remember who it was that you talked to?
3 people, including.
Just wanted to check check your memory.
Yeah.
Memory check.
And because Charlie had also said, when he said he had a hole in his heart, this was so helpful, Charlie, I eventually felt a hole in me. Because I love Charlie. We go back a long time together. And it felt first upsetting. Oh my, there's a hole in the middle of me. Missing our connection. And then out of that hole, I felt, like in a black hole, light comes out of a black hole. Did you know that?
I thought that all light disappeared into a black hole.
No, but so much is going in that some of it bounces back from the sides.
You're beyond me
Yeah.
as a researcher into physics.
And I felt this light coming out of me, out of this hole. My whole armor, my nonviolent communication armor, which I was interpreting my own way, was pierced because Charlie knows how to get angry, cutting. And, he's a filmmaker, he does a lot of cutting. And so it's been such a gift to me. And I feel like I'm flying now. I don't have to just be wrapped up in me. If it's joyful, I'll help you. There's another part of me that loves to help. If we can discuss how and where. And I feel extremely freed by this. So it was, I might have lost a friend that maybe the show will commemorate.
I mean, have you talked to Charlie since then and
Charlie,
used those magic words that I would love to help? And
yes,
let's talk about how I might be able to do that.
Yes, I emailed that and I called and I think I've heard Charlie. We'll see what happens. Might be many months. Maybe, I don't know. It was one of Charlie's great gifts to me. Pow.
So one gift that I understand was it brought you to this place of having a formula, basically, a loving response that honors both your friend's needs and also honors your limitations, whatever they might be.
And my needs.
I would love to help.
Yes.
And let's talk about how I might be able to do that.
Yes.
Let's talk about what I can do.
Yes. So it's just confusing to me since I'm used to checking in and seeing, will this bring me joy? I'll have to learn this. This is I'm like a little chick literally coming out of my shell. Learning to maneuver. Another friend called in the morning, which is writing time, when he really wanted to talk. So I said, okay, it worked out okay,
But you weren't feeling joy when you said okay. Is that what you're saying?
I could feel his joy of wanting to get together.
Yeah.
And I had lost my shield. My dear beloved Michelle has an email called 1,000 Shells.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt Charlie had helped break through maybe my 1,000th shell.
Your 1,000 shields?
Yes, in Kabbalah it says there's 1,000 shells around our true nature.
Hmm.
I told that to my friend Wendy Orange. She said only 1,000.
Hmm.
And so I feel like I've, thanks to Charlie and my other, we might not get to this other somewhat similar situation with another dear friend. Now, part of this, which may be of interest, is for the last almost 60 years
Of your life.
of my life, I've been deciding often how to act by checking in with an inner voice or a conscience,
Mm-hmm.
which might say little things like, hold your hand, or tiny things, eat that food.
Or jump off that building.
Yes, and I realize, I'm very slow, I've known this, but I think I'm finally getting it, that voice, commanding voice often, is just one of the many personalities inside, and needs to do the same thing. I need to have I don't want to get rid of it, but I want to have a conversation with it. Let's discover and be responsible for what I do. And that also seems to free me to be a whole person and be here and not be a good boy and do what I think my God voice is telling me.
Okay, before we get too far afield, because we have this wonderfully specific example with Charlie, I'm not entirely sure that I see the connection between what you're talking about there, your multiple selves. So I would love to be able to I would love for you to be able to wrap up your show with some lessons learned, like some takeaways.
Well, those two were connected, actually.
Tell me how.
See if I can. See, just like the nonviolent communication rules were in some ways a shield, especially the way I was interpreting them.
What nonviolent communication
The rules I was saying, I'm going to do what's joyful for me.
Okay.
What you say, well, not I can decide how I'm going to feel.
Yeah, I'm totally responsible for how I
rather
think
than
and feel.
taking in, opening up and taking in Charlie's feelings and needs, which is supposed to do with...
I mean, what might have you done differently? Let's say that you had this new formula at the very beginning. So
No.
let's say the car breaks down and the battery dies, so you can't fulfill your promise to Charlie. What would you do?
I would hopefully, which I'm not good at, after the battery dies twice, and think not just on my own, I'm going to pick up Charlie on Sunday, take it to the gas station and have it checked.
Before Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one. Now let's say if your car died anyway, then what would you do? So you and Charlie are together, car is dead.
I would be this, I'd say, hey, what should we do?
Okay.
Let's discover how we can be of help to each other.
Yeah.
What I finally, the mantra I learned with you.
And, okay, great.
And if Charlie was angry at me, I would feel, not just say, oh, I'm happy to receive your anger. I feel what he needs. I did a little of that. I would acknowledge how he's feeling. Oh, you feel that you're not safe because I don't discuss things with you, so you don't have a say.
So you would be reflecting back.
Yes, I
some
would
of the
really,
things that
and
Charlie
I would
is
take
saying.
it in. And you need to feel safer, and you need to feel that you're not going to be thrust aside. So that would be very, very different.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of copping out, which I sometimes do, okay, inner voice, what should I do? Call a lift. I would say, okay, let's have the same kind of discussion internally with me. What do I need? what am I feeling? And not have just one little, what I call my God part, take over and do to me the same thing I did to Charlie. Do you get it?
No.
In other words, I have some part of me when I get scared in a situation that says, okay, I'll take care of it. Just do this. Call a lift.
Okay.
So it's the same. I treat my.
Well, that's a very active thing to do. You know, that's a man of action. It's like, you know, got a problem here. I'm gonna and
Right.
I was bigly a part of creating this problem. Let me fix the problem.
Yes.
I'll call a lift.
Right, but it would be great if it was at least I, rather than okay, I'll do what my voice tells me. And
Well, the voice is a little bit part of you, and I should
yes,
say that we've got
beautiful. 30 seconds.
we got 30
I
seconds.
love what you said. A little bit part of me.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's not just the commanding part of me. And if I can hear it and have the same kind of conversation with it. Or to put it, God wants not to just be a little voice, but to be infused in our whole life and connected with all our feelings and needs and actions.
Well, there it is. That's the show.
Thank you.
With 3 seconds left.
Thank you for joining us.